Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, and this is going to be a thoughts post. I really hate that this is the particular one that I am coming back with, but it needs to be said because people apparently don't pay attention when it is being said, when it has been spoken before, and people apparently are not being taught this. So I'm just going to speak about it. I have talked about it before. I don't know how long ago, but I have talked about it before. But let me go ahead and get into it. I'm going to try not to drag it out because it's pretty much self explanatory. In my opinion, it is anyway. So, y'all heard that AJ Johnson passed away. He was a comedian. We always saw him in like movies like Friday, I Got the Hookup, which is, a Master P production, I guess if you want to call it that. So yeah, he's been in like movies and stuff like that. And I knew him as a comedian or whatever. And I think when I first saw him, it was just regular comedic, you know, situations going on, and that's it, and not him being in the movies. And then when I started seeing him in Friday and stuff like that, I was like, oh, okay. And, in all honesty, a lot of people feel like he is the type of comedian that paved the way for the type of comedian that Duval is, Lil Duval, because every time you looked up, Lil Duval was in somebody's music video and whatever, and I get that, I understand that reference, but the issue is this man passed away. Now, the way that I heard initially, people kept trying to say, oh, he had a heart attack. And I was like, I could have sworn they said that happened years ago. Did he have another one? Well, when it came out, they said that he was found unresponsive in a store and he was rushed to a hospital where he was eventually pronounced dead at the hospital. But that was at the beginning of September. When we heard about him passing away, I think it was like September 20th. So it's like, why we found out at the end of the year? I mean, at the end of the month, excuse me. So that was kind of off to me. So anyway, I heard that the wife got on social media and posted something asking for everybody to help, and she has created a GoFundMe. And whenever I hear that, I just instantly go to a place where I'm just like, why? Why? I cannot, it just does something to me. My thing is, unless it is a situation that is like an astronomical amount of money because you have a rare form of cancer and, stuff like that, I understand that. But to bury you, I don't understand that. Ever since I was a very small child, my parents let it be known that they had policies and ours were paid up long before myself and my siblings ever entered into high school. We can be buried and a service can be held without anybody having to worry about what's going to happen with that and have to scramble and try to scrape up money to bury us. I don't understand this. I don't understand this. I'm knocking on 40s though. This man was 50 some years. He was like mid 50s. He was like 54, 55, or 56 years old. Mine was paid before I was 18 years old. It's really not a lot of money at all. I've seen what the payments looked like back then, and even now, it's not even that bad. Especially if you are making more money than what I'm making. You know what I'm saying? He was making more money than me. I don't know if he fell into drugs, like I've heard people say. But when he was out there and making the big money could have been put up. I already know somebody gonna try to be like, well, everybody can't get insurance. What if he was denied that because of some kind of underlying medical condition? Maybe they turned him away. There's still no excuse because these places still take cash. They will take a money order. They will take any form of payment pretty much. Like, they're not gonna sit up there and be like, oh, you gonna pay for it? You gonna write a check? Oh, we don't accept those. Like, a lot of places don't accept checks, but they will accept something else because, yeah, I don't be wanting to hear nobody's excuse trying to make it seem like, oh, well, they're not going to take cash. No. Yes, they will. The funeral home will take it. They will take another form of payment. He could have put money up. Y'all could have put money up as a couple. so that, if that was the situation, meaning that there was something going on and they weren't going to allow him to get a policy, to have insurance or whatever, I get that. You can put money up to the side. You can put that money off to the side and be like, here go 20,000 right here. Don't touch this unless I die. The end. I don't understand. And like, this is making me question, like, are the kids insured? I already had 2 to 4 kids at least. Are they insured? Is the wife insured? Like, what? I mean, like, do they have a policy? I don't get stuff like this. I really don't. I cannot stand seeing nobody's GoFundMe talk about, please help me bury this person. Why y'all ain't got no insurance? I don't understand. All that money, I'm telling you, these people be having the most luxurious shoe collections, the most expensive purses and clothes, and thousands of dollars being spent on these weaves, the jewelry, the gold grills that have diamonds and things in them. Like, people are still out here getting grills. Don't get it twisted. Don't think that that's just something that has gone away. No, these people be doing the absolute most on things that they don't need, when there are 2 things in life that are certain: taxes and death. So I do not understand why people do not have insurance. Had my parents not been up on that and did that for me, I would have done it for myself. But like I said, ever since we were children, they always told us that that's something that we would never have to worry about with them. That's something that we would never have to worry about with us. So we would always be able to pay the people who gonna bury us and pay for the actual service. If there was gonna be a service where people were gonna sit in somewhere and give a eulogy. I just don't understand. I'm sorry, y'all. Stuff like this, it does not sit well with me. It is very sad. I think what really kind of pushed me over the edge today, after hearing about the wife being on social media asking us, the fans, and some of his colleagues, I guess you could say, and people who he's worked with and for money, is the fact that she was trying to make it seem like, oh, well, y'all, when y'all heard about him dying, y'all act like y'all was here for him, and oh, y'all love him, but y'all need to stop with the fake love and the fake text messages and the fake regular messages and the fake phone calls. But all I saw was this amount in the GoFundMe. I'm asking for $20,000 for this, and hopefully I'll be able to split like $4,000 of it. But it's okay. I'm gonna go to work in a couple of days, and and I'm just like, so now it's our responsibility to pay to bury your husband. That's what you mean to tell me? Just because I liked him as a comedian, it's my responsibility to bury your husband. That's what you're telling me. My parents created me and said when I was a baby, we gonna get insurance. And they thought of this for each one of us as we were born. So I don't understand. Like, is this just not a conversation that most people are having? I don't get it. I really want to genuinely know and understand, because we all will have no issue when it is our time to go. Nobody is going to have to scramble and find money and beg, borrow, and steal in order to bury us. We are not going to have to say, well, it's enough in there to cremate her, so we'll be able to just do that at least, man. We ain't want to do that. We wanted to get a casket and whatever. No. There's enough in there to do whatever they want. It's going to cover me being buried. I'm going to be able to be in a casket. There's going to be able to be a service. All of that was covered and paid for long before I even got into high school. My daddy was the working poor. Yes, he worked for the state of Alabama, but he literally was at or below the poverty level as far as the money that he was making. Okay? So for him to be able to pay for 5 people total, my mama, himself, my brother, my sister, and me. Everything is paid up. He was able to do that. Why was your husband not able to put money to the side? And he was making more money from just one gig, from like one movie, than my daddy has probably ever seen in his life. I would love an explanation. So yeah, I'm not trying to get at her. It's just stuff like this. It just bothers me when people do all of this and they come across so much money, and the main thing that they need to do is to get a living will. Create you a living will. Yeah, if you haven't done that, you need to create a living will, especially if you have something to leave behind, or at least you want somebody to be able to say, this is what I want done when I pass away. Whether you feel like you are well and ain't nothing gonna happen to you or not. I have had one. I need to do another one. But even if that ain't in place, because I ain't really got nothing of value in this moment, but by the time I turn 40, I am going to have another one in place and update it as needed. Because sometimes things happen, like other people pass away, and the people who might have been on there, it's obsolete now. It's pretty much not going to be able to be used because that person is no longer in existence, which is understandable. But get a living will, get insurance, get life insurance. I don't be understanding why these people do not have life insurance policies. I do not understand. You have all these luxurious vehicles, these nice homes. You have all this stuff, but the main things you don't have, you don't. You don't have the main things that you need. That is very disturbing to me. I said everything that I said, and I meant everything that I said. But I really feel like people are going to still, give. You have to understand we are in a pandemic, first of all. A lot of people still don't have jobs. A lot of people are still out here struggling, trying to make ends meet, and they've been working the entire pandemic. Other people have families to tend to. A lot of other people have been dying over the course of this last year and a half since this pandemic started. So it's like, you got to be mindful of what everybody else has going on too, ma'am. So for you to try to make it seem like, oh, wait, it was fake love and fake messages and all of that because you thought that everybody was going to set it off and empty out their bank accounts for your husband to be buried. Don't be mad at us. Be mad at y'all for not doing what y'all needed to do. Do better. Please do better.